Howdy, howdy, fellas. Got a World Warships Legends match today in the... Oh, no. I should have taken this out. Oh, the Hector. I do not understand the Hector. I didn't like the Dalian when I first got it, but I've come to appreciate it. The Hector just feels like a worse Dalian. Like, what is the point of the Hector? I don't really understand it. I feel like... I guess it has maybe better torpedoes, but if you know anything about me, that's not going to appeal to me, so I don't know, Hector. Nah, so we're going with the Dalian. You can see my build. That's part of the reason I left that in there, is if you want to pause and take a look at that. That is more or less what I've settled on. More gun focused. I had dabbled with trying to make the torpedoes work. But honestly, at the end of the day, I'm a gun guy. I like the Dalian. As I mentioned, I did not prefer it in the beginning. I played like 4 matches and I was like, ah, this is junk. I'm never coming back to this thing again. But I've really come to appreciate a lot of the... I think it has a lot of very slight benefits over a lot of its competitors that end up adding up to a ship that I find significantly better than a lot of ships that it's only a little bit better than in a lot of different ways. Um, Not least of which is it gets an extra stack of each consumable anyway. I'm running refill station, and it gets 3 heals, 4 smokes, 3 DFAs is normal anyway, but whatever. And just that extra little kind of quote unquote for free consumable is really nice. It gets a little bit of extra concealment. The Sejong is similar, but a little bit more detectable. The Jinan up at Legendary tier, which a lot of the tier 8s suffer from that. Why not just play the Legendary one? Is, I think mine's over 10. I don't run a super high concealment build. So that's certainly going to impact it. You can get it quite low, but on any of these, the concealment's good enough. That's not specifically what I'm really leaning on. And then I mentioned it the last time I played it, but I will mention it again. The guns, although 130 millimeters, have improved pin on them, so they can actually take on some, I guess I'll say like medium armored targets, and I think that really makes a difference. And it's just very small. It has a very small footprint. You can see this Hector. I'm just chewing it up. A lot of these ships have great DPM, but the Hector has that. It has a longer reload, and then I find it has a wonky gun layout. I don't like it. The Dalian is just more traditional. All 3 guns can fire in the front. The shell ballistics are just better. I just end up liking the Dalian better all around than a lot of the similar ships. Even if they, in a lot of instances, might feel like they're very similar in doing a lot of the same things, the Dalian does have just enough of those little advantages that come together to something that I find a lot more enjoyable. It doesn't have sonar. That's one of the things that the Hector picks up that can be very useful. Sonar is one of those things that when I have it, I'm always like, whatever, sonar, does it really do that much? And then when I don't have it, I'm like, oh no, where's my sonar? Why don't I have sonar? But anyway, to this match, we are in the cap trying to support our destroyer, and our battleship is buggering off to who knows where, as is usual. There's that sonar. Hector has picked me up, trying to get the destroyers, trying to get the battleships, trying to not die, trying to, all the stuff. One saving grace is that our red team that we're facing has kind of done the opposite on the other side. Ooh, that is a drawback of the Dalian. It's basically a destroyer. It's destroyer modules. Don't get hit. I'm actually going to put out a Blucher video maybe today. Maybe I'll just do it right after this if I've got enough time. One of the fatal flaws I find on that ship is the engine. The Dalian has a similar thing. That like the modules just go, go, go. But because it has all those other stats, it's so small, it has the smoke, it's actually quite fast. Good concealment. It doesn't feel nearly as frustrating to me because you have other options. So like right now, I've lost my engine. I had just picked it back up. But if I needed to, I have a smoke back up in two seconds. And so that's one of those things where Having like an alternate oopsie button on the ship, I think is really nice. Here comes the Hector. Hello, sir. Just get some torps just in case I mess this up. And then he's going flat enough. I'm going to switch to AP. And the AP on the Dalian, you know, it's basically destroyer guns. It's light cruiser caliber. And the... Ah, Marco. That was mine. I didn't realize he yoinked that. But whatever. I'll take the support. Shells are in route. Oh, do we dodge it? Yeah, we do. Just a little drift. Anyway. Yeah, I was happy. What was I talking about? AP. Oh, I know. None of the Pan-Asian cruisers have... I won't say... I don't believe any of them have Fixated or Piercer. They all are kind of a light cruiser farming thing, which does make sense. I like Fixated and Piercer even on my light cruisers. I like the accuracy and I like the extra damage on and pin on the AP when you do get in positions to use it. I'm trying to remember, what's it the lower tier skills are like the knuckle duster thing. They're kind of like torpedo, smoky, whatever skills. Honestly, I think I would probably pick up Fixated 4th row, almost certainly. Piercer, what's in the 3rd row? I can't even remember. I might pick up Piercer 3rd row, even though it's not, you know, an AP powerhouse. I think it might be on this Conqueror where we get... I believe it's at some point in this game that we get some chunking going on. And so we're kind of, yeah, waiting for him to fire, making sure he's spotted. Gonna get some farming on. We'll see it. Yeah, okay, switch to AP. Do we get the chunks on this one? He's got some fires burning. I like Piercer and Fixated even on light cruisers. Just, if your shells don't hit, you don't do damage. Oh, yeah, yeah. And when you get a chance to use the AP, I appreciate it. A lot of times when you are using the AP, it's those either uh-oh moments or you might not necessarily have a ton of time to get the farming out. And so every little bit extra counts. And yeah, I like it. Even if you do use HE most of the time on the ship, I like having that extra when you need it. And I just find those bottom 2 rows don't have, you know, the most impactful skills. Hayate takes him out. Honestly, watching this back, you know, this was a paid actor match. The red team just really, you know, you can't do that. You can't just abandon the whole map. You saw their whole team was South to Sea, and they didn't even get to, you know, they're just getting it now. I'm being a little cheeky on this Alsace, but also this is a thing I've been practicing over the last little bit. Is just keep going, keep the guns firing, and work on that kind of dodging and juking when I'm in a scenario where it really looks like we've got this. Just based on the play of our team and the play of their team, I think we're good. Trying to see that. Oh yeah, I remember in match I didn't actually see his shells coming in until later on that, so I'm a little bit lucky that he didn't aim better. Also noticing he has like the temp name, no fleet, whatever. Like, is he likely to be that good? I don't know. But continuing to pew pew. Also mindful that I'm pretty sure the Alsace has a reload boost. I'm almost positive that it picks one up. So yeah, we're gonna try to keep angled, try not to take everything, and oh, rudder goes out, but that's not too bad. We take a pretty meaty chunk, but not dev struck. So we'll take it and just continuing to farm that damage up. And you can see this thing definitely puts out damage. Yeah, I just like the Dalian. I just like the Dalian, even with a lot of other similar ships that I don't enjoy. This one kind of brings it, in a lot of ways, it plays like a mix between a cruiser and a destroyer. You can kind of get away with destroyer stuff, but then it still has that damage output when you need it. You can see I've got 168,000 damage, and it just kind of adds up. I haven't hit a single torpedo, which yeah, you can see maybe why I go for the gun build. Dalian doesn't actually have the most ferocious torpedoes anyway. They are standard, which I actually do like. There are definitely times where the deep water torps can be frustrating when you're trying to, you know, flush a destroyer out of a smoke screen, stuff like that, or like a last minute, you know, destroyer's rushing you and you can pop the torps off and trade, or you know, something like that. There are definitely scenarios where the standard torps work, but they're not as good at sneaking up on capital ships as the deep water ones. So it is what it is. It's a trade-off. I like the flexibility of the standard torps better. Even though, I mean, honestly, I am a fan of deep water torpedoes, but I also appreciate standard ones. So, yeah, pros and cons. It's like fast shell velocity versus slow shell velocity. You have to understand the strengths and weaknesses of both types of ordnance, and just play to whichever one you do have available. Yeah, 194,000. Got a solo cap. Got a defend ribbon. I'm a little bummed our destroyer, I don't know that he got credit for capturing A. He definitely helped in that instance. And it always, it is what it is, but I would like the other players. I wish there was a way that you could give, like a little bonus, like a hey man, thanks a lot kind of thing at the end of the match, and like, it would give, just a little bonus XP or something like that. Just particularly for ships that go out of their way to be a little bit of a team player, or that maybe make a play that doesn't necessarily give them the experience, but you do think that they did something that was valuable. I think that would be cool. I don't know, it's whatever. It wouldn't make a huge difference either way, but it would feel nice for me just to let that destroyer know, like, yeah, man, I appreciated what you did in the match. You kind of stayed in there and helped duke it out. And I know you went down, and that's a bummer, but good job, dude. So, we took up over 200,000. Not bad, burning him down. Yeah, I like this ship, and this, the reason I'm making this video is this actually is a new personal best. It's funny, compared to the last one, this match was significantly easier. If you've seen that one, it was like a nail biter down to the very end. Just barely eke it out. But this one is versus Legendary tier, and I think that's part of the reason I do end up picking up more experience in this case. And yeah, oh come on, it's taken so long to load. I've had that happen a lot. So yeah, 216,000 and 4467. GG Dalian.